welcome guys to the final part of my 7-day video blog from our time at Zandvoort. Some of you are probably glad it's the last one. In some ways I am as well. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. However, what I plan to do for this one is I've captured the whole of my race from last night's Group Two GT3 from the helicopter view. It's a great view to watch the action because you can really see things developing. And what I'm going to do is I'll sort of commentate on the first lap or two, and then I'll just leave it running in the background so as you have something to watch, and I'll chat about some other things and maybe interject on the racing action, you know, if I see something interesting happening. Of course, if you want to watch the whole race from my car, my live stream from last night is archived on the YouTube channel, so you can hear my live remarks, and some of the language gets a bit fruity at times, but I'm sure you guys can handle that. So the first thing to mention, it was a great race. Here we are, just setting off, crawling down. Everyone was much better behaved than Friday night. There's a bit of an issue here still with people not keeping in the green slot for the rolling start. You can see, you know, I'm trying to keep in the green slot, and drivers think I'm overtaking them, and they're kind of coming up and through me again. You know, it's not an issue when we're all ghosting, but once you get near the start, we would start tapping each other. But yeah, a good race overall. Everybody listened to Jeremy in the pre-race briefing, and he made a big point about driving carefully and not going for it at the first corner. So there we are, green flag, we're off. Everyone down to the first corner. Everybody behaving themselves. Funneling in nice and slowly. I think I accidentally tapped this yellow car in front a little bit, which I apologise for. Yep, there we go. None of us came off badly. Everybody keeping station. It's a great view, this, isn't it? You can see so much more of the circuit and the cars. So we're starting to kind of form into our positions. Starting to relax a little bit. This guy's quite feisty behind me, and I make a decision. It's only the first lap. I make a decision to let him go. I don't want to ruin my race by having a battle into the chicane this early on. Now behind me you will see the red car of Mr. Melvin Garland, and I think behind him Melvin's in the McLaren, and behind him is Mike Dearlove. He's also in the McLaren. Now Melvin especially is pretty much in my mirrors for the whole race. We had a titanic, great battle, very respectful. You'll see it pan out here. And Melvin, it was great fun racing you. Oh, I see, he got took out there. Don't worry, he catches up with me again. But it's great racing with you, Melvin, and I look forward to much more of that on the circuit. So I should have said near the start, I qualified 22nd, which I think there was about 32 drivers in the field, so I was reasonably happy with that. Using the setup that Peter gave me, thank you very much again for that, Peter, but thanks again to Mark, who also sent me a setup during the week. That's the great thing about this group is, you know, I know some people get a bit precious about their setups, but guys are quite happy to share them to less experienced drivers who maybe struggle with getting a setup for their car. So just again a great reflection of sort of team spirit and the community spirit within the group. So we're all kind of holding station here. As I say, I love this view because you see all the little details that Kunos have put in. Just round this corner, I think there's a helicopter, which I've never seen, with the rotor blades slowly turning. Yep, there it is. Just, you know, gobsmacking the detail that the guys have put into this. I've noticed ambulances on certain corners and all the animated crowds and everything. Really, really great. So as I say, I'm going to kind of leave this running in the background so you and I have got something to watch as I'm chatting away, and I'll chat about other things and dip into the action. But there's Melvin right in my mirrors again. As I say, we have a good battle. I like that colour scheme, Melvin. You know, when I was watching back this replay, it reminded me of was it Winston cigarettes that the Williams F1 team had during the time of Alex Zanardi, and the branding was kind of red and white. So it reminded me of that as you were looming large in my mirrors. So, as I say, this is the last episode of my 7 days video blog. So, you know, punching out a video a day. What have I learned from this sort of week's experience? Well, I guess the first thing I've learned is it'll be a while before I'm committing to do a 7-day video blog again. I've made a little mistake there. You see, Melvin's closing up on me. Yeah, it's been great fun, don't get me wrong, but I sort of put myself under a bit of pressure to fire one out every day. Having said that, you know, once I get my teeth into something, I tend to sort of try and soak up information like a sponge. I get a wee bit obsessed with it. So this past week has been great for learning. Learning about video capture with OBS and streaming to YouTube and editing the video in Adobe Premiere, and, you know, adding in little graphics and things like this eSENIORS GT3 logo I've got going in the top corner there. A real learning curve. You know, I'm quite good in IT. I've worked in IT all my life, so I can start to learn these things, and I don't mind rooting around, and I'll read the manual. I don't have any problem with RTFM, as you guys will know that. So yeah, I tend to get sort of right deeply into it, and it's an enjoyable experience for me. So here we are. Here's the three of us on track. Myself, with Melvin right behind me in his McLaren, and right behind him is Mike Dearlove, also in the McLaren. So this was a feature right throughout the race. I could see these two guys in my mirrors, and we're all having our own little personal battles, but it was superb fun, absolutely brilliant fun. So yeah, back to the sort of learning process and making these videos. I mean, I think about a month ago, that this eSENIORS group didn't exist. I wasn't really playing ACC very much. It was sitting on my hard drive, not getting fired up too often, and I didn't have a YouTube channel or anything. So a lot has happened in 4 weeks, all for the better. As I say, during this time of COVID, it's given me something to occupy my mind, and when we can't go out so much to the pub or out for a meal or anything, you know, it's given me something to do as well. You know, regarding the time it takes to put together a video, it's made me appreciate a lot of the guys that I follow on YouTube a lot more. I guess once I get my workflow down, you know, and I learn new things and I start to do them more often, you know, they will become second nature. So your workflow improves, and you're able to to bash these things out a little bit quicker. So, you know, I've learned a lot, and likes of this video, it's probably taken me about an hour to an hour and a half capturing the footage and doing the voiceover, and then you've got to output it from Premiere, you've got to upload it to YouTube, you've got to wait for YouTube to process the HD version, so you've got to factor in all these things. So Melbourne still looming large in my mirrors here. I'm just keeping an eye on the action because I know a few things are coming up, so I'm going to sort of dip in and out of the commentary on the race as we go on. There's a little kind of train of cars behind me now. Once it swoops round, you'll get a better angle and all that. One car ahead. So yeah, here we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I think in a wee while a fourth one joins. I was getting a little bit worried for a while that those of you with long memories remembering Jarno Trulli in F1, you used to hear the phrase Trulli train quite often, because he would have a train of cars behind him which just couldn't quite overtake him, but you know, they knew that if they got past they would be quicker, and I was a little worried that I was holding people up, but you know, we're racing for position. If you want to get past me, you're going to have to do it properly. So yeah, there's a guy in front who I think gets it wrong at the chicane here. Oh yeah, look at all these cars ahead. Yeah, he's going slowly. I don't know what was up with him. For a while I thought he was a back marker, but I don't think he was. And he's holding me up at this point, and he goes off a wee bit there. Then we have this battle down the main straight to the first corner, and I think, well, okay, I'm racing with Melvin here, so I just force him into a mistake. You know, I let him brake later, and he just goes wide and goes slightly off, and it allows us to nip through. But there's quite a bit of action going on behind me at this point. People jostling for position, and then he goes off there. He's on the grass, and that lets Melvin and Mike Dearlove through as well. So we're past that potential tricky situation, shall we say. So my plans after this video, you know, for my next videos and my YouTube channel, which I'm quite enjoying, I think what I'll maybe try and do is maybe do a couple of videos a week. I will certainly do, you know, some eSENIOR ones again, maybe of my preparation for races and stuff, or if I have a really good race. But I want to branch out a little bit. Like you guys, I drive an awful lot of other racing or driving sims, Assetto Corsa with Content Manager and a whole load of great mods on there. Automobilista 2, which is coming on leaps and bounds. R Factor 2, all these sort of things. So I'd like to do little videos on other stuff. And oh god, yeah, my front washed out there. I remember that. Come around that corner, and kudos to Kunos, as they say, for the software developers, for the force feedback. The front completely washed out, and I felt it going, and I was able to catch it, you know, which really says a lot about the force feedback in this game. You know, R Factor 2's got good force feedback. Automobilista 2, AMS2 is getting there, but really they've got it down to a fine art here in ACC. So yeah, as I was saying, you know, maybe going to try and get a couple of videos out a week on different sims, and one thing that really interests me at the moment in Assetto Corsa is these free driving tracks, free sort of roaming tracks that are coming out, which are not circuits. They're not really meant for a race. They're more like you know, you going out for a Sunday afternoon drive in your favourite car out into your favourite country roads. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I like to disappear down into the Scottish borders, maybe visit the old Jim Clark Motorsport Museum and things like that. In my car, I've got a Focus ST, which I've got the mount tune kit fitted to it as well, so it's great fun on the twisty roads down in the Scottish borders. So these sort of tracks interest me, and maybe picking a fun car and just going out for a bit of a drive around and having a bit of a chat like I'm doing now. Now let's just see where we are here in the race. Sort of holding station just now with Melbourne in the background. I know that we come across a pack of cars fairly soon, so I'll chat about that when it happens. But yes, next week Nürburgring for eSENIORS. Looking forward to that. Now the Nürburgring is, I know that circuit. I know it quite well because I've driven it in loads of other sims. I didn't know Zandvoort at all a week ago, so the whole point of doing this sort of video series was me learning the track. Yeah, we're coming across some slower drivers here, but they've been very good, letting us through perfectly. Certainly what I saw in this race, you know, as far as blue flags or slower cars coming up on you, I had a very good experience. I can't speak for others, but certainly my race was very good from that perspective. So yeah, the Nürburgring, I'll start practicing for that tomorrow. Be interested to see, you know, I reckon I can go on, and because I know it, I can hit a fairly decent lap. Now here's this collection of cars here. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. Because I know that circuit, I can go out and set a reasonable lap pretty much straight away, hopefully. So there's not so much a learning process for me. Or maybe, you know, if interesting things happen during the week, and if I have some interesting thoughts, I'll capture them and maybe put out just a single video this week of my preparation for the Group 2 races, Group 2 race, and the warm-up and everything for the Nürburgring. If that would interest you, I shall do that. Yeah, so this looks like a little kind of group of cars that were myself and Melvin and Mike are coming upon, and of course we're having our own race and they're having their own race, and none of us wants to get in each other's way, so this is quite a nice little bit to watch here. Again, this view kind of lends itself perfectly to that, because you can watch so many cars in one view and see them all swapping places and dicing around. So yeah, it's getting a bit hairy coming around here. We're all bunching up together. We're coming down to the chicane, and I'm thinking this has got disaster written all over it at this point. And a few of them get it slightly wrong, and we managed just to squeeze through here. A tiny wee tap there, I think. And I see Melvin's trying to get through because he doesn't want a car between me and him. So I've got through reasonably cleanly, and then of course we've got the first corner coming up, where again this could be a bit of a recipe for disaster at this point. I managed to get through okay. There's contact with a few cars though. Again, we're all just trying to stay out of each other's way. Nice driving from that guy, letting... whoops, Melbourne touched him there, but he was letting us through. And I've got a bit of a gap, but there's kind of mayhem going on behind me. Yeah, that was a great part of the race. I really enjoyed that. So another thing I've been thinking about, not just this past week, you know, the sort of past month or so, is possibly getting a new base unit for my driving sims. Just, you know, one that I only have driving sims loaded on it, and it's there for that purpose. And I'll keep my existing one for all my photography and video editing and, you know, all the normal stuff, shall we say. I've been sort of pricing them up. I would put one together myself, but I'm kind of a wee bit out of touch with doing that, so I'll probably buy one from one of someone like Chill Blast or these kind of off the shelf suppliers. My processor's an i7 3700, I think, and it's a 1060 6GB graphics card, so they're not bad, but they're getting a little bit long in the tooth. And I do notice it on... Oh, Melvin tried to dive bomb me there, didn't work. I do notice it on some sims now where I have to put the graphics at medium, whereas I used to be able to ramp everything up nice and high. So I'm looking at that. You know, the money we've all saved from not being able to go on holiday or go and spend it in the pub. I thought I might treat myself. I was swithering between a new PC and a Fanatec wheel and pedals to replace my G29. I would like that as well, obviously. But I think maybe the new base unit is the more sensible buy, and I can look at the wheel and pedals later on. Now, there's a new car entering the fray here. He's just behind Melvin at this point, Mr. Don't. And he's in another Ferrari. I think that's him, or is that him behind Martin? He's certainly in the picture here, and he comes into it in the last few laps with me, so keep a little eye on him. So I just wanted to kind of thank the admins, you know, Jeremy and Michael and Luke as well for the live streams. Just thank these guys for putting this group together and doing such a great job organising things, getting the Discord up and running so as we can all chat, getting the website up and running, YouTube channel, organising the races. You know, it's a lot of work, and they've done a fantastic job. As I say, about 4 weeks ago, this group didn't exist, and you've created something very special here, guys. You really have. Like-minded people, all respectful racing, a good community, funny chat online, very supportive of each other, you know, sharing setups and things. It really is great, and long may it continue. So thank you guys for setting all this up. Yep, so we're getting into the kind of closing stages of the race here. As I say, it went very well for me. I'm very pleased with it. You know, a nice clean start. I'd have to get my qualifying sorted out, I think, because, you know, if I could just start a little bit further up the grid, I seem to be finishing always way better than my qualifying position. So, you know, if I could start just a bit further up, I would hopefully finish a bit further up and maybe get some more points. So that's something I maybe need to work on. But yeah, it was a nice start, good clean first few laps from everyone. Some fantastic racing with these chaps here. Respectful racing from slower drivers. You know, and if any of you guys listening are getting a little bit disheartened, as I say, I hadn't visited this circuit at all 7 days ago, and when I first went out, I did I think it was a 153. Now this could be this chap behind me just now, so I'll maybe just go back to the racing. Yeah, he comes in into the fray Mr. Don't, D-H-O-N-T. He's also in a Ferrari, so it's kind of battle of the Ferraris going on here, me and him, and he really is pressurising me. He's filling up my mirrors, and to such an extent that I'm thinking, you know, I might have to let this guy pass because he is quick. However, we go on to another lap here. So yeah, just mentioning the guys might be getting a little bit disheartened. 7 days ago I did a 153 here now, albeit I was driving around slowly, you know, getting my bearings, looking at the track and the scenery. And then once I did what I felt was a competitive lap, I think that was about a 146. And then the fastest I did during the week was into the 139s. So it just shows you, you know, putting the hours in, doing the laps, learning as much as you can, and just driving, just, you know, keep driving and driving and driving around these circuits, and you will improve. You'll begin to brake a little bit later, you'll work out braking points, you'll get more confident on the circuit. So, you know, if you're getting a little bit disheartened, stick at it, and don't be worried about maybe reaching out to some other members of this group on the Discord for advice, because there's plenty of that available. So yeah, here comes this guy. I know what's coming up here. He's pushing, keeping me honest. And the tyres are starting to squeal a little bit on everyone's car. And I think he just got on the throttle a little bit too quick out the corner there and spun out. So that's a shame, Mr. Don't. I reckon if you'd kept it on track, you probably would have had me before the end of the race. So commiserations, but I look forward to seeing you on track again. I hope, you know, it's, what time is it now? About nearly 2 p.m. in the UK. 5 hours to go until the Group 1 race tonight at the same circuit, the faster guys. So I hope you guys have as enjoyable a race as we all had last night. I'll certainly be watching it. I'll watch the live stream. Well, I might actually watch it on I usually have it running on my desktop so that I can pick my own camera angles. But I have a laptop at the side where I usually have Luke's stream running, so I can kind of watch it from two angles. It's really good. Obviously with a nice beverage beside me. I'll see what my wife just got some new beers in yesterday, so plenty choice for that. So yep, we're coming up the last few laps here. I think pretty much everyone, myself and Melvin, are beginning to think, well, maybe not try anything too crazy just now. We're in the points. If an opportunity comes up, fair enough, but just kind of hold station a little bit. Although here's Melvin coming back at me just as I say that. Somebody off in front at the chicane. They're coming back on track, and I remember this. I was thinking, don't hold me up. You know, you've just been off circuit. But he was very good. He took his foot off the throttle, and he let me through fairly quickly. And then I'm pretty sure he lets Melvin through as well fairly quickly. So we can continue our little fight. Quite a few cars in the pit lane, I noticed. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm sure there was about 5 cars in the pit lane by the last lap, because I was kind of counting them when I was watching this replay. If you ended up in the pit lane, you have my sympathies. That happened to me in the warm-up race on Friday night. Not a good feeling. Yep, so a good few cars behind me there in a line, but I'm managing to to keep a nice cushion behind me, so I'm feeling quite comfortable at this point in the race. Not really feeling too much pressure. As I say, I can hear, I don't know how well it came across on my live stream with the YouTube compression of video and sound, but at this stage of the race I could really hear my tyres giving way on the corners, and you're getting that kind of sliding noise going on, which produces a few heart in the mouth moments. So on my YouTube channel, I see a lot of you have subscribed to it. That's fantastic, and a lot of you have left little comments and things. If you're enjoying these things, do subscribe. I know that people don't like their YouTube feed to get full of stuff, and as I say, I'm only going to maybe punt out 1 or 2 videos a week, so it'd be great if you're subscribed. And if you do have any feedback, good or bad, on any of these little videos, then please let me know in the comments on the YouTube videos. Any feedback is good feedback, so you know, if you think I can do something better, or you've got some suggestions, then please don't hold back. Pop them in the comments there. So yeah, maintaining that nice cushion there. Melvin's not too far away though. One tiny little mistake from me and he would be right behind me again. As I say, I'm having, because I can hear the sliding noise, I am starting to take corners here a little bit slower, braking a wee bit earlier. At this stage I'm thinking, don't throw it away. You know, you've got a good spot here, don't throw it away in the last lap or two. All the little details, the cranes, and there's that helicopter coming up again. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So this may be the last lap. It's a bit difficult to tell, I haven't got the HUD running. I thought I'd give it a fairly uncluttered screen for you guys to watch. I watched my own I watched my own live stream on my iPad when I went to bed last night, and then straight after it I watched the whole of Luke's archived live stream, so I watched the race twice again. But it's just good fun, you know, it's good fun watching it, and Luke, it's good fun listening to your comments, your jokes about the extra points for gardening and everything. It makes me chuckle. So it's just a last chance gasp dive bomb from Melvin. Maybe he's right there. It just shows you that the whole race he was behind me pretty much, and here we are coming up to the end, and he's right there. So we had a great close battle. I seemed to be faster than them round this last sweeping corner, so I knew I could pull away. That might be down to your setup, Peter, and your tips telling me to take that at full throttle. So there we are, end of the race, chaps. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you've enjoyed this little series of videos. I've enjoyed putting them together, and good luck to the guys in Group 1 tonight for your race, and I'll see you all on track. Cheerio for now.